What's going on, guys? I've got a 1998 Chevy Blazer, and I'm going to use it to point out to you how to change both your high and your low beam bulb. And I'm also going to go over a few important relays and fuses for the operation of those. So in order to get to the bulbs, you've got to get the assembly out. And it's real easy to do that. There's a tab here that you can just pull up and kind of set aside. And there's another one right here. You just pull up and set aside. At this point, the assembly will be kind of loose and wobbly. And to get it out, you just actually lift up and pull out at the same time. So that should be sufficient to get it free. Now, your low beam is going to be this one right here. That is going to be a 9006 is the part number on the bulb. And in order to disconnect it, you just push on that little tab and it will come right out. And you'll want to take this opportunity to look inside of the connector to see if there's any corrosion. There is corrosion in there. You may have to replace the pigtail, is what they call the connection. And as far as getting the bulb out, you just grab it and rotate it counterclockwise, and it will just pop out like so. You'll want to make sure that the O-ring comes out with it, the little orange O-ring, as your new bulb will have a new O-ring. And be sure not to touch the glass when you're reinstalling the bulb. So that's going to be the low beam. High beam is pretty much identical. To disconnect it, you just push on the little tab, and again, check it for corrosion, and it will rotate counterclockwise to remove. So your high beam, that's going to be a 9005. There's also a little side marker bulb in here that you can change as well. Now, when you're reinstalling this, if you'll note, there's two little tabs here. Those actually slide down into these slots. So you slide those down into the slots first, and then these two little triangle shaped pieces, those go into those little cutouts there, where they are retained by the little flaps here, whatever you call them. So yeah, you just slide it down, and then you rotate it back until those pieces are popped out like so. At which point you can reinstall these little retaining pins there. Now, as far as the fuses and relays go, they're all going to be here. So you just unscrew this little cover, pull it up. Now, what's interesting on this setup is the same fuses are used for the high and the low beam. So there are two 10 amp fuses where the power is provided. So the first 10 amp fuse is going to be this one. That is what provides power to the right, the passenger side. The one directly above it, this provides power to the driver's side. And as far as the relays go, this relay, when it energizes, it actually sends power. It sends power to the bulbs. And this relay, it sends ground. So this relay actually works in conjunction with this relay to determine whether the high beams or the low beams are receiving the power. There's also a daytime running lamp bulb, and that's your fog light bulb. That's your ground relay. That's your daytime running light relay. And there's also a 15 amp fuse for the fog lights. That's going to be right here, right next to your fog light relay. And so you should be able to freely exchange these relays as a troubleshooting step. One good relay to swap in would be this one. That's your horn relay. If your horn works, your horn relay works, so be a good candidate to swap in. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, or more importantly, any advice about troubleshooting the headlights on your Blazer. Thanks for watching.